Welcome to Tackle Talk Live, dedicated to making you a better fisherman. Proudly brought to you by our sponsors: The Boat Shop, 3J's Four-Way, Pride Rods, Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, The Lakes Insurance Agency, One Stop Tackle, Lone Star Bass Trail, V&M Baits. Now on to your hosts, Ranger Daiwa Pro Staff Steve Graff and V&M Baits President Kevin Jean.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ranger Daiwa Pro Staffer Steve Graff, along with V&M President, CEO Kevin Jean, sitting over here beside me. And you're watching Tackle Talk Live. And today, we're going to tell you what's going on Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend. Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend.
Red River.
Red River.
Red River today. We will talk Red River.
And I'm telling you right now, the fish are biting is all I can say. They are biting everywhere you want to go. Just pick a lake and get in the water, wet a hook. I'm telling you, they're biting right now. So we're going to have some great results for you today. We got some great interviews lined up for you. The winner of the Bass Champs is going to be joining us today, as well as Mike Morris, who is the Bass Federation champion off Red River. And you're going to be surprised at the results off the Red River, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, great weights coming in from Red River. We seen a 19-pound sack, a 17-pound sack, some 16s, a lot of 15, 14, and 13. So Red River,
even a 19.
Yeah, a 19 on day one. So Red River is making its comeback. But Steve, you know, Red River showed out a little bit this weekend, and that's good for Red River. But everything showed out this weekend. You had 30 pounds to take day one at Bass Champs on Saturday, 35 to win day two. 30 pounds got second on day two at Bass Champs. 20 pounds did not get a check. A low 20-pound bag did not get a check at Bass Champs. Great turnout. Toledo Bend showed out for the Despino Tire Tournament on Sunday. So I know you said Bistino up there showed out a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, but the top 27 teams in Despino all had over 18 pounds. I mean, again, the lakes are on fire right now. They're biting. Again, a lot of it has to do with the spawn. A lot of fish are pulled up. But today we're also going to have Lance Duff. He was the winner of the Bass Champs on day one or two.
Day two. He was the day winner on day two. Weights were better on day two on Sunday. Weights were awesome on Saturday.
Yeah.
Weights was even better on Sunday.
Right.
Which is kind of shocking to me after all that pressure all week. But it's Sam Rayburn. There's pressure every day. But weights were a little bit better. Had 35 pounds with a 9.5-pound big bass. Very, very interesting story Lance has lined up for us for something that happened to them on Sunday and Saturday. They fished both days, but great story Lance has got. It's pretty cool deal he's going to share with us.
So message your buddies. Lance will be on our second interview, probably around, I'm going to say 12:50, somewhere in that area. But the first one we're going to have is going to be Mike Morris, the winner of the TBF on Red River. He's the TBF national champion. We're going to have him on. And so looking forward to both those interviews. But again, spread the word. Let everybody know. If you want to know what's going on at Rayburn, maybe you're going to get some good inside information and a lot coming up at Rayburn. I mean, this is just the beginning of Rayburn for the next probably 3 weeks. It could be absolutely incredible over there. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, real quick, we've got also, we're going to talk to you just a little bit. We're going to give a little brief update as to who won the, what was that? I'm trying to think here. The Tackle Warehouse.
The new Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit.
The Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit. And our good buddy, Justin Cooper, made a top 10. His second event, I guess he's ever fished.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Justin. We'll talk more about that as well as John Cox, once again, is on fire and winning another tournament. Shocker. But anyhow, real quick, we got some sponsors we're going to get to real quick. Kevin?
One Stop Tackle, located at 7933 Farmingham Road in Humble, Texas. They carry everything you need from all your local lakes around the Houston area, plus everything you need for Sam Rayburn and Toledo Bend. Make sure to like their Facebook page for updated store hours and new products coming in daily. That is One Stop Tackle.
Also, Lone Star Bass Trail. They've got a circuit coming up here. It's actually already started. There's one in the spring. There's one in the fall. Just had the first event and we'll cover the results of that in just a little bit. But they've got the next event coming up is May 2nd. With their championship on May the 23rd. It's a $150 entry fee circuit, $5,000 first place, guaranteed to the winners of the championship. It's a 5-fish limit event. So, and again, it's a team circuit. So check it out. It's a great circuit if you're looking for something to fish, especially coming this fall when, this year, because we probably won't have all the COVID situations, there may not be a lot of circuits going into the fall like they did last year. Everybody's going to have their championships in the fall. But if you're looking for something to fish, Toledo Bend is going to be a great place to go this fall and participate in one of the Lone Star Tournament Trail events.
And next, the boat shop. Mr. Raymond Kidd and his staff take great pride in keeping your boat and motor performing at its best. A certified Yamaha dealer and full support Garmin dealer offering the best in electronics and the new Garmin trolling motor. Stop by 2410 Sanford Avenue in Shreveport and let the boat shop take care of all your boating needs. Give them a call at 318-402-0399 or go to shreveportboatshop.com to learn more. And as Steve gets Mr. Mike on the phone here, just going to kind of go over. This is the Bass Federation National Championship held this past week on Red River. Mike Morris from Delaware had a 3-day total weight of 42 pounds, 3 ounces. He had 1312 on day 1, 1409 on day 2, and 1314 on day 3. So 14 pounds a day. Basically, to come away with the win at 42.03. On the co-angler side, Joshua Moore, right here from Louisiana, had a 3-day weight of 36 pounds and 7 ounces. So congratulations to Joshua.
Actually, Josh is a Shreveport guy. He fishes the Boss Tournament Trail out of Shreveport. So, but anyway, we're going to hear right now. We've got on the phone, and I'm not too sure he's not on the road, Kevin, making that long drive back to Delaware, is Mike Morris, the champion of the TBF National Championship. Mike, does it get old hearing that?
What's going on? Fellas? No, I'm not driving. I got home this morning, probably around, I'm going to say 8:30 or so, and then got cleaned up after that 22-hour drive and came right here to work. So,
wow, so you're already back at work, winning $125,000 and already back at work, Mike?
I'm dedicated that way.
I think I would have had to have taken a day off.
Yeah, I wish I could have.
How far of a drive is that for you, Mike?
I think I looked at the odometer this morning, and it was like somewhere around 1,300 miles.
Wow.
Well, Mike, we've I got to be honest with you. We were a little surprised, and some of us even shocked at the weights, especially on day 1, the results, because the Red River, as you well know, if you've been on it at all, it was decimated in 2016 with 2 back-to-back floods within 3 months of each other, and it's taken forever for it to recover, and so we were really pleasantly surprised to see, a 19-pound, 17-pound, 16, 15-pound bags being weighed in on day 1. That really was a shocker for a lot of people.
It sounds like the Red River has come back on fire because there were so many fish caught, and there's a lot of quality fish that were caught as well. So you should be proud of that place. And I was pretty skeptical about coming down because of all the hazards mainly. Now I fish a lot of tidal rivers up here, and we have our fair share. But when you look at your Lawrence mapping and you see all the jetties and everything sticking out there, and you're running a $50,000, $60,000 bass boat, like holy cow!
Yeah,
you really want to take that chance.
You better know where you're at. I tell anglers that come down here, that guys that come fish that know me from somewhere else, they'll call about Red River, how to navigate, and I tell them, stay between the buoys on the river, and when you get off the river, if you don't know where you're at, idle, because you can get in some trouble real quick if you don't know where you're at.
Yes, sir. You're 100% correct on that, and I heard those same words. Just stay between the buoys, and you'll be fine.
Right.
And that was pretty much the case. And like you said, when you're going off the main river, idle, and do like a 90-degree turn to go into the backwater areas.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, 14 pounds a day is solid. I mean, basically have 14 pounds a day, 3 days in a row. That is really, really good for Red River to have the consistency. I mean, we saw a bunch of 19-pound well, we saw a 19 and a 17 caught on day one. They both of them backed it up with an 8-pound stringer on day two. So super hard to be consistent on Red River. Kind of take us through your practice. Did you figure something out in practice? Was it a location? Was it a bait? Kind of take us through practice before the tournament.
It was a little bit of all three of those. My first day of practice didn't go well. I locked through down to pool 4 and hit a couple spots down there, and I caught 1 10-inch bass and 2, I don't know if they're hybrids or white bass, but they were 2.5 pounds. I mean, if you were hungry, you could have taken them with you. But I did some fishing down there. I found one spot that held, I probably caught 15 or 20 in there, but nothing of any size, that you would want to compete in this tournament. So I kind of put that on the back burner just in case I needed something. And my day 2 practice, I was able to go in the place, I believe the locals call it Do Not Dredge area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I went in there and I found a few fish in there. I found a couple nice ones about midday and shook a few off after that. And I told my partner, I said, let's get out of here and go look for some more stuff. This is going to be my day 1 spot. So, once I found that, the baits that I was throwing were a spinnerbait, a War Eagle spinnerbait, and big mouth lures, Penrod Special spinnerbait. That's like kind of like a bait fish imitation with chartreuse flicker Colorado blade on the front. I got my frog bite caught the majority of my big fish. I was throwing a black scum frog. Way up as far, I was almost throwing it on the bank and dragging it out to the edge of the hyacinths.
Yeah. And
working it from there. And when the water was flat, when the wind wasn't blowing on the water, I would throw a Senko. Mm-hmm. And that's about the only thing I could get bit on when the wind wasn't blowing.
Yeah. Now, one of the things with Red River that another thing that when people ask my advice, how do you? The one thing that I know, Chris Lane, when he won the Bassmaster Classic here, he said he never fished the same spot twice in the 3 days of the Classic. He went to different water every day. He said, the first thing I learned here, they don't bite 2 days in a row in the same area. Did you find that to be true in your case? Did you have to go to different areas to get bit?
You know what? I got to disagree with Chris on that. He is a stick and a half, but all 3 days, I fished the same stretch, back and forth, back and forth. There were so many fish there. I was so impressed with that place. So, and I had it pretty much to myself the first, the 2 of the 3 days, I should say. And the rest of there were a lot of anglers in there with me. And they were kind of, I'm not going to say they were on top of each other, but they were fishing closer together than anybody was to me.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of that area to myself. And I caught all of my fish in that single stretch.
That's impressive for Red River because Red River is very, very hard. And that's why I was saying it's so hard to be consistent on Red River because it's hard to go back and catch fish in the same places over and over again, especially in a 3-day tournament.
Yeah. You've done something that a lot of people haven't been able to do.
Well, I had to change my pattern each day. That was my biggest thing. The first day, I probably whacked 25 fish on a spinnerbait.
Uh-huh.
And that's all I really needed to throw. My partner was throwing the same thing. He was throwing a different spinnerbait, but he was catching them too. And day 2, I had to switch up a little bit. I caught one on a frog. My first one came on that frog. And the rest of the day, the water was flat, and it was pretty hot and bright. So I just went to finesse fishing with that Senko. And, I scratched out about 9 or 10 bites and came in with the 14-pound bag. And pretty much on day 3, I had to switch up a little bit more. In the morning, I was able to get a good buzzbait bite on the Big Mouth Lures we call it Eastern Shore buzzbait. It's like a black buzzbait with chartreuse tips on it. And we we do really well up here in the tidal rivers of the Chesapeake Bay on that buzzbait.
Right.
And after that, I caught a couple big ones on a frog, and I was flipping Missile Bait's D-bomb. I caught my biggest fish on that. After he missed the frog, I flipped in on him with that, and he bit that, and I got him. And for the rest of the day, I pretty much threw that Senko because the sun got up, and I kind of found the fish laying right underneath those little hyacinths next to the tules when that sun got up, and I guess they were in the shade.
Yeah.
And that's where I caught them. It was a black blue flake Senko, 4 and 5 inch.
So do you think those fish were on beds? Did you see any bedfish at all?
I saw one bedfish. The water wasn't clear enough to see very good.
Yeah.
But I saw one bedfish, and it took me 2 days to catch her. I could not get her to bite anything the first day. And it took me 4 trips up and down that stretch. And I pecked at her 3 or 4 times. Each time I went by her. And the last time I went by, she had moved up into the tules. And I guess my boat spooked her. And I saw where I thought she went. I threw the Senko over there, and she hit it immediately. And it took a few minutes to get her in. Because this is going to sound crazy to you guys, but I was throwing on my Vexen rod, I was throwing 8-pound test in Bizex, Seagar and Bizex.
Now that's something we don't do down
we don't
here,
do that
Mike.
down here very often. I can promise you.
If I don't have it on a spinning rod, I don't have 8-pound test line on.
Yeah.
Well, it was on a spinning rod.
Okay.
And it was a medium
But just
spinning rod.
not on Red River. I'm saying we don't do that on Red
Oh.
River. So and that might be what triggered it for you. It might have been.
Well, I kind of figure that lighter line. Throughout the years, I've just gotten more bites with that lighter line, and then in Bizex, I can even flip that stuff on finesse jigs, and you believe it or not, you can get them out of that heavy cover with that.
Right.
You don't have to. Break their neck when you set the hook with that 8-pound test. Just pop them a little bit and work them out.
Yeah.
And I very, very, very rarely lose fish with that setup.
Right.
Well, Mike, congratulations, man. We appreciate you taking time out of your day to visit with us. And, again, job well done, man. I mean, guys from all over the country were in here for this event, and you've won a tournament that Mike Iaconelli's won. I mean, a lot of the big name guys. This has kickstarted their careers. I don't know what your plans are. Your plans to try to make it to the next level?
I have. You know what? I've got a lot of thinking to do on that.
Yeah.
I have a great job. I work for a great company, and I have a great support system at home. So I'm going to have to, weigh the odds and see what we can come up with. Would I like to? Oh, yeah, I would love to do that. I mean, that's pretty much all of our dreams is to be able to fish professionally.
Right. But it's not for everybody.
So, it's not for everybody. And my mother would be the first one to tell you that I'd rather fish than eat. So, and that's pretty much the truth. I go every weekend, and I try to, take something away from it every weekend. Learn. You can always learn something. So that's what I try to do, and I just love fishing. Always have.
Well, again, congratulations. Mike Norris is on the phone with us, the TBF national champion. And Mike, again, job well done. Good luck, whatever you pursue the rest of the year. I know you've got a little pocket change now to play with. You're playing with house money now for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it is great. That's great. Well,
Mike, congratulations, man, and surely we'll hear from you down the road.
All right.
Yes, sir. And I want to congratulate you guys on the Red River and the Red River South Marina. You guys have a fantastic fishery. I was skeptical coming down, but I'll tell you what, I've changed my mind 100%. That's a great fishery. I really enjoyed doing my time there, and the people there, Louisiana guys and ladies, you're awesome. Thank you for your hospitality.
Well, we're hoping it triggers a lot. We hope it triggers the return of a lot of major events as well as the Bassmaster Classic, which has been there twice. And so your results from this event, Mike, we really feel like could be a shot in the arm for Red River in the future and future tournaments coming to town.
Well, if any of them have any questions, they can sure call me, and I can help them out with that.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Mike Morris, Federation National Champion, fresh off Red River, headed back to Delaware. And and just to give you a little quick rundown, Robert Stock from New York won the Eastern Division. He had 41.11. He was just basically less than 1 pound behind Mike Morris for the championship. Brad Knight from Wisconsin, he won the Northern Division. He had 5 fish each day. He ended up with 40.04. Central Division was Scott Whitehead from Mississippi. He ended up with 36.13. Jack Crone from Montana won the Northwest Division. He had 35 pounds and 10 ounces for all 3 days. Sam Heckman won the Southwest Division from Colorado. He had 32.06. And the Southern Division champion from Georgia was Michael Dean. He had 31.12.
Steve, hopefully these weights coming off of Red River, this is going, like you said, hopefully trigger something. We know Shreveport, it does its job. The Red River Waterway Commission, they do their job of trying to get the big name tournaments here back on Red River. But, the weights from the past couple of years, nobody's coming back to that. But hopefully this sparks, the numbers are there, the quality is there. Hopefully we can get some more interest to get the bigger tournaments back to Red River.
Just one little quick stat. The average fish weighed in, there was, I think, a total of 90-something bass weighed in those 3 days with those limited number of anglers on the boater side. The average fish was 2.3 pounds.
That's impressive for Red River.
For Red River. That's really a lot better. I was expecting 1.75, somewhere in that range, to go to almost 2.5 pounder.
Yeah, it is.
Congratulations.
Good things to come for Red River for sure.
Yep. All right. Well, let's see here. While Kevin's getting our next guest on the phone, Lance Duff will be joining us here. Real quick, I'm going to introduce you to 3J's Four-Way. Look, it's a store within a store, a great place for lunch with an awesome deli, best fried chicken in the South. 3J's Four-Way offers gas, food, and ice, but Cypress Knee Outdoors offers a great selection of hunting and fishing gear, products from Santone, Strike King, Spro, Gamakatsu, and the #1 soft plastic on the market today, V&M Baits, hunting supplies from Primo, guns from Winchester, Remington, Mossberg, along with a great selection of ammunition. Stop in and say hello to John Abraham and his great staff at Cypress Knee Outdoors inside 3J's Four-Way, located 1 mile east off I-49, exit 127, or give them a call at 318-238-HUNT, H-U-N-T.
Next up, Pride Rods. Custom rods built in Montgomery, Texas. The finest rods ever made by Mr. Billy Kistler. Constructed with the finest North Fork composite blank by Gary Loomis. They carry a complete line of spinning and casting rods for both freshwater and saltwater applications. Pride rods pass not only the eye test, but performance as well. Ask your local tackle dealer if they carry Pride rods and pick one up. Try it for yourself. To learn more, or you can go to priderods.com or call 832-418-6040.
And for all you guys headed to Toledo Bend or Sam Rayburn, there's a place you got to stop. Keith's Tackle. You got to stop. When you cross that Pendleton Bridge on the Texas side, Highway 21, Keith will be right there on your left. And just as you cross Toledo Bend, so stop in there. You got former Elite Series Pro Ben Matsubu works there. You've got Keith Neighbors, the owner. Both of them are avid anglers. They fish a lot. They can tell you what's going on both bodies of water, and will point you in the right direction. What's hot? What's the latest bait? What are they catching? What are they hitting on right now? They can tell you when, where, and how. So make sure you check them out right there again, just across the Pendleton Bridge. Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle.
And last but not least, the Lakes Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency that has been taking care of Texans' insurance needs for 25 plus years, offering auto, homeowners, boat, recreational vehicle, life, health, and commercial insurance. The owner, Clark Moore, is a local guide and tournament angler who understands your insurance needs as a boat owner and wants to be your go-to guy for your insurance. Give him a call for a free quote. The agency is located at 805 Southeast Stalling Suite 3, right there in Nacogdoches, Texas, or give him a call at 936-205-4467.
And on the phone with us, once again, we've got another angler that knows how to catch those big bags of fish. And we're talking 35 pounds.
And another angler who's doing well in the pocketbook.
And doing well in the pocketbook. If you're looking for a place to get rid of some of that money, Lance, Tackle Talk Live is accepting donations today. and in exchange for information. So we're hoping that you'll help us participate and get our bank account a little higher.
I think I can do that for you guys.
That's what I'm talking about.
How y'all doing today?
We're doing good, Lance. Well, man, Bass Champs, of course, just a tremendous circuit. Chad Potts and the gang, they just do a great job with every event. But this was different because it was back-to-back days. How did that play in, having to fish the 13th the day before, and then you come in on a 14th with 35 pounds, back-to-back days? How did that work out for you?
So what I did the week before it went off limits, I took off the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, went up. My teammate, he fished Friday, then Saturday and Sunday we fished together. We kind of split up, covered the north end of the lake, covered some mid-lake stuff, and covered some south end areas. And Wednesday I went with one of my buddies, and he's been catching them good, and we sacked about a 30-pound bag, and we just stopped. I said, let's go. Let's get out of here. I don't need to see anything else. Then last Sunday, me and Cole probably had around 20 pounds before 12:30. And I said, that's all we need to see. So let's just go on to the house and hope they're there the next week. And so
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that's the thing right there. That's important, though, because this time of year, they can blow and go. I mean, they can blow their eggs and be gone. You had to be a little worried and sleepless at night.
There's a lot of moving that goes on. I mean, these fish
this time of year,
they're
especially.
in, they're out. They're moving up, they're moving back out. Post spawn, pre spawn, spawn. There's a lot of things going on. Lance, when we're talking practice here, and y'all had these 30 and 20-pound days, are we shallow?
Oh yeah, I mean, everyone that personally knows me, there's a joke that goes around. I tell them my skeg was dragging the bottom of the lake. And, I mean, I fish that shallow year-round. I rarely fish deep. I need to start getting out there a little more, get out of my comfort zone a little bit. But right now, from spring and fall, Cole and I, we're just good shallow fishermen. I mean, that's what we grew up doing. And, frogs, traps, crankbaits.
So we wasn't sight fishing either. I mean, we're casting.
Were not sight fishing.
Okay, I got you.
Well, John Cox just won Smith Lake over there, MLF tournament, and he didn't even use. Every angler in the top 10 was using forward-facing electronics except John Cox, and he went old school. He went shallow and won the tournament. And a lot of people said it would never be done again, that you could win a tournament shallow without forward-facing electronic live scope. Did that play a role in your finding fish? Did you use anything like that?
In practice, we did, but where we fished yesterday, we could see some of them, but I don't think it really helped us because we weren't seeing the fish we were catching. The week before, at Saturday and Sunday, we fished together. There'll be a couple videos come out on my YouTube channel where we're watching them on live scope, talking about them. You can see them swimming out in the grass. It's really cool. And but as that warming trend happened throughout the off-limits week, those fish had all went way up in the bushes, backside of them where you couldn't get to them. We figured that out, I guess, about noon Saturday. Saturday's a train wreck. We can talk about it in a minute because there's a great story behind it.
Yeah, don't get to that story yet. I want to save that story. We're going to save that story. But let's do talk about Saturday first. What did y'all have on Saturday, Lance?
So we should have had 25
No,
pounds.
we're not going to go with shoulda. We're not going to go with shoulda, woulda, coulda. What did you have on Saturday?
We had about 14 pounds. If I could hook it and it was big, it was not coming to the boat.
Yeah.
Saturday was just, it was a mental
Now, do you think that was
breakdown
because of the way they were biting or just what you were doing?
Just what we fished, kind of high risk, high reward. Saturday we were throwing frogs up in the just nastiest stuff we could find, and it's just luck if you get them out. I mean, that's what they were really munching on Saturday. We had some big ones on weightless Cincos. One of the areas we found in practice, that's when they moved up shallow, and we just started hitting behind the hay grass. We paralleled the hay grass, and it I just couldn't get them in. I don't know if they weren't eating that good, but I don't know. Saturday just was not our day.
Yeah.
So mainly, and Lance, feel free at any time to say, guys, I just don't want to give out that information. We know there's a lot of big tournaments coming up on Sam Rayburn, a lot of money left to be won. So anything you're not comfortable with giving out, just simply tell us.
Yeah.
We respect that, not a problem.
Just send us an email of what that is.
You can
Me and
tell
Kevin
us
will
that
take it.
later.
That'll work.
So Saturday, I mean, are we mainly focusing on hay grass, or is it just several things up shallow, or basically anything you're coming into contact with shallow?
We pretty much fish cypress trees, hay grass, and behind the hay grass, and look for isolated bushes. What we try to do is look for stuff that's not really obvious, that's not a lot of people are hitting. We try to go where most of the boats aren't.
That's hard to do on Sam Rayburn right
Saturday,
now.
we just kind of went junk fishing and
Yeah.
just tried to make something happen, and it was just too late in the day. I lost too many fish, and my partner did a good job. He got all the ones he hooked, but it was on me.
Also, looking at the lake level, I'm looking at it right now. It's only 7.9 inches low. I mean, so the lake has come up in the last couple of weeks, and so there should be some water on the cypress trees and in the hay grass now.
There is on certain parts of the lakes. Some trees are a little deeper than others. You know, I've got several years experience on the lake, and I can know where I can go catch some good fish off certain trees. So that helps too.
Yeah.
And I'd say if whoever's listening on here, and if you have cypress trees that are in 2 foot or more, those are the ones you want to focus on right now.
No,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay. Now, what about the entire lake? Like, I'm hearing from some guys that the north end of the lake has kind of already done its thing, north of the 147 bridge. That there may be another wave later, but right now, mid lake to the south end. Is that okay to say that?
It's fair to say that. I mean, there's certain spots above that bridge that they're still pulling up in, but below it. I mean, we sacked them above it and below it in practice.
Yeah. All right, Lance. So let's go from Saturday to Sunday. Did we change areas? Did we change baits? What was the difference Saturday and Sunday?
Sunday, I'm sorry. We stuck with the same thing. We decided to trailer up north just because of the wind. That was a great call from Chance to let us trailer. Appreciate that big time. And what we did, we just went to one humongous area that, it's got the potential. A lot of people catch big fish here. I mean, word's going to get out eventually. But I said, hey, let's just stay in this whole area and maybe we can make something happen. The morning started out with Cole catching our first one. It was a 4-pounder on a spinnerbait, and I caught one on a fluke, then caught another 4-pounder on a fluke. Then Cole.
Now let me stop you there, Lance. Are we talking a weightless fluke here?
Weightless fluke. Well,
Okay.
It's just a fluke with a little snap weight in front of it, just
Gotcha.
to kind of give it a slow fall.
Yeah.
Okay. So caught the second and third one on that.
Yeah. Then we said, Cole said, I had one hit the swim bait yesterday, and he said, well, why not just throw it and see what happens? So this is probably, about 9:45 in the morning. I'm in the back of the boat or somewhere around there. He said, Lance, giant. And I just turn around, that rod's doubled over, and big old 7+ comes jumping out of the water and get it in the boat. So that's fish number 4.
So we got a 7-pounder, a 4-pounder.
Got 2 4s, a 7, and a 1.5.
All right, 2 4s and a 7. Okay.
And about 10:15, I put the fluke back in my hand, popped number 5, and said, all right, well we got 5 now, so that calmed us down. And about 11 o'clock, Cole catches another 2-pounder. 11:45, he busts another 5. At 12:45 roughly, he catches a 6.
Lord.
God bless.
Yeah, he's really putting it on me, and he keeps saying, hey, man, he said, swim baits are your thing. I really wish you'd step it up a little bit and add to the team. And so Saturday, where I lost a big one.
Now go ahead and tell the story. Rewind back to Saturday here.
rewind back to the train wreck. So Saturday, I make a cast with a crawfish-colored crankbait that I've been just crushing them on. All big fish. I haven't lost one fish in practice. I set the hook in this fish, and I immediately say, Cole, this is a giant. That 948 comes and jumps out of the water, big old belly. She jumps up several times, makes runs, strips, drag. I mean, I'm fighting the fish for about 4 or 5 minutes, being easy with I can. I can't even talk right now. Trying to be easy with her, get her to the boat. Cole is going to net the fish. I mean, he's there, and I'm just pulling her to the boat, and all of a sudden the hook just pulls. Cole reaches out as far as he can. The fish will swim in the opposite way. He gets the back half of the net on that fish, and the fish just dives down.
Now that was Saturday.
That was Saturday.
Now fast forward to Sunday.
We're fast forwarding to 2:10 Sunday. I mean, we got a few more minutes to fish, and we've hit this spot 2 times already. I said, well, Cole, let's just go down here and just see if we can get lucky. And Saturday when I said, man, I said, God works in mysterious ways. How awesome would it be if he saved that fish for us for Sunday? In the back of my mind, I'm like, that fish is probably never going to bite again. But we pull up to that same little bush. I rifle a cast out with that swim bait, and it rocks it. I said, Cole, giant. And I mean, we see it jump out of the water. It's an 8-pounder for sure. Get the net in it. I'm hollering and screaming at this point because we got right about 31 pounds. I mean, my adrenaline is kicking. My hands are shaking. Both of us can barely breathe. And I'm thinking we probably just won at that point. I was like, man, this may have just happened. I said, we finally got we're both catching big fish on the same day. And at this point, I think our smallest fish in the box is probably 4.5 pounds, 4 pounds, somewhere around there.
Yeah, because looking at the standings, it looked like you might not actually needed that fish. I mean, you might have had to.
Oh, no. Just wait.
It gets better?
Just wait.
It gets better. It gets better. So we calm down. I go back up to the front of the boat, and I rifle back out there again.
The next cast.
Don't tell me.
The next cast, I get slammed, and I say, Cole, another big one. That big fish comes, does it. I mean, I said, dude, that's the fish from yesterday. And fight it, get it in the net. I yell, game over. I'm screaming, hollering. I'm so excited. About to throw up. I'm so excited. And I said, dude, that's 100% God gave us that fish. I said, he was holding it for today.
948. 948.
And this is off a shallow spot. It's not a deep spot, right?
No.
How often do you hear of an 8 to 9 back to back not being deep?
Yeah,
I mean,
on a shallow spot. Yeah.
Now, and it was a bush you're throwing at, Lance. So the 8 to 9 come off the same bush shallow.
Come off the same bush shallow. We probably threw at it 1,000 times.
Wow.
Sunday, just hoping.
Yeah.
Do you think those fish just pulled up on that when you happened to be there?
Had to.
Had
surely.
to just pulled up on
I
it.
kind of feel like that 9-pounder had a bed around there because it was 2 to 4 foot of water around there. And in years past, when the lake is clear, I see a lot of beds out deep in this particular area.
Right.
So I think it could have had a bed there, but just for back-to-back cast, and I mean that's.
With a swim bait? Was it a swim bait?
It was a swim bait. Yes,
Gotcha.
sir.
Okay.
Well, that's just divine intervention's all I can tell you. There's no, you'll never duplicate that ever again. And
no, and we're both pretty big on throwing swim baits. And on a good day, I mean, we've been throwing them probably since 2009. A good day, you might get 3 bites on it a day.
Right.
Yeah.
We had 5 Sunday, and it was incredible. I mean, that doesn't happen. It was our time.
Now, how big a swim bait are we talking here?
I'd rather keep that to myself right now.
Okay.
But it will be on my YouTube channel for those that want to subscribe and check it out. They'll get to see all the information there. You just type in Lance Duff on YouTube, you'll see everything.
All right,
We're going to tell the whole thing there.
There you go. That's what we need to know. I'll be tuned in about the next 30 minutes. So
yeah, I'm going to let a couple weeks go by because I got a couple of events I'm probably going to try to fish. I'm going to find something to get in because I think
he's going to let a couple weeks go by
till
the swim bait bite is over.
We don't need but another week. I've got a big event over in 2 weeks. Kevin does too.
I mean, money can motivate us to give you some information. I mean, we can talk here.
Well,
Lance, let's talk Sam Rayburn overall. And I know you spent a lot of time over there on that lake, and I know a lot of people watching the show is either going to Sam Rayburn or got a tournament coming up on Sam Rayburn. Heck, I know a lot of the MLF guys that it's really off limits for is listening because they can listen to anything on social media. What's the lake looking like? What are we moving forward the next month or so for Sam Rayburn? Just kind of tell me your output, where Sam Rayburn's going, kind of what the fish are doing and going to be doing over the next month.
I feel like we're in the peak of the spawn. There's something about that. The week of like March the 11th, that seems to always be the peak of it year after year for like the big bags that roll in. I think we'll start slowly seeing a decline on the weights with the occasional mega bag here and there.
Right.
But I think a lot of the you'll see a lot of 18 to 24-pound bags, I feel like. I think a lot of guys are going to start catching them real good on frogs and flukes and and swim jigs. That bite should, I know it's on now, but it should only get better as we get into the end of the month and April. April's a fun time to fish Rayburn.
Yeah, you're right.
It is, Lance. And, talking about that, the MLF guys are coming next week. I think 24 through 28, something like that. Anyway, I think those guys are really going to show out. I know the lake's going to be packed. I know we're going to be there for the solo 150 for Friday, Saturday. I know Outlaw Team Series has their event number 3 is on Saturday. MLF guys is there during the middle of the week.
Well, they're there like the 20th through the end of the week.
Yeah, they're well, of course, they have to take off a whole week. But I think those guys are really, really coming for what the type of event they fish for a numbers game. I think those guys are coming at the perfect time.
Oh, no doubt.
I agree with that. They timed that just right. They should. Unless we get some crazy cold fronts, which this is Texas, you don't like the weather, just wait a few minutes and it'll probably change. But if it stays just right, they're going to have a blast.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen anything on the 10-day forecast, nothing that's going to be earth-shattering to slow down the bite. So it should continue to just be good. Now it's going to be more related to the moon phase, and the moon will have the bigger impact, I think, more than the weather.
Definitely, I agree for sure.
So,
Lance, did y'all talk to the guys that came in second? They had an 11-pounder, had 30.85. To come in second and you have 30 pounds with an 11-pounder, they had to have been heartbroken, I'm sure.
Yeah. I know both the guys. I congratulated them. Crazy bag too. That's just. And what's weird, anytime I feel like you bust that 25-pound mark, you got a shot. It just depends on how good they ate that day.
Right.
And it's crazy as the weights are on Rayburn.
25 got you. 25 got you 8th place.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Well, 20 pounds, low 20 pounds did not get checked. I had a buddy text me right before the show. He said, "Hey, I caught 20 pounds on your chopstick. It did me no good." So
that's Rayburn.
Lance, man, congratulations on another win. Great victory. And I know you guys are thrilled, man. It couldn't happen to a better person. Congrats. And like you said, make sure to check out his YouTube for the video of the tournament, his actual video coming up on his YouTube page.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, guys. And I guess, two other things real quick while everyone's listening. Guys, Sam Rayburn is great. It's up to us as the anglers to protect the resource. I hate going on these group pages and seeing ice coolers just full of spawning bass. Let them go. Let them grow. Eat them after they get done spawning. That's what keeps these lakes great. So, and just Cole and I just want to give a quick just thank you to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, our wives, our family for letting us fish, some companies that's been behind us, Castaway Rods, Bill Lewis Lures, Excite Baits, Lou, Strike King, Mustad, BJ Ford, Bay Area Fence Company. we can't do it without these guys. I mean, we're no big timers, but they help us out a lot, and just want to give credit to where it's due. And we appreciate them. And thank you guys for doing this podcast. It's really cool to hear all the winners come on every week and talk about how they won. Huge fan of the show.
Well, Lance, we appreciate you. And if you see me or Kevin over there at Rayburn, please pull us aside. I want to see you and introduce yourself to me. I want to meet you. And
he wants to swim bait, Lance. Don't let him know.
I didn't want to tell him that. I hope
Hopefully I'll be back in my big boat. But if you see a guy out there in a 16-foot 10 rig with a puppy dog with him, that'll be me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Lance, we'll see you, man.
I appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a blessed day. Good talking with you.
You too,
Y'all
Lance.
too.
Lance Duff, and part of the team of Cole Koslow. And again, they had 35-45 for a $20,000 payday from Bass Champ. So congratulations to those guys. And again, can't say thank you enough. Great plug by Lance promoting our program. And we're here for you guys. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help everybody catch fish. And we're hoping some of it rubs off on me and Kevin over the next couple of weeks. So
I'm ready, Steve. All I saw all weekend, I was trying to watch my boy Justin Cooper on MLF. I was trying to keep up with Bass Champs results, the Spino results. I'm getting all the results in, and everybody just catching fish right and left. And
our names are nowhere on the list.
Well, I'm sitting at a softball field with my daughter, who's a big softball player, so I got to go and do what she wants to do. And I enjoyed it, and I love it, and I'll do it as long as she wants to do it. But man, it's hard when you're seeing the results come in that are coming in. But I'm ready to be back on the water, no doubt about it. Real quick, just shot out second place yesterday in Bass Champs. LaMarcus McCray, James Rozelle, we just said it, had 30.85 with an 11-pound big bass, and you get second place. That's got to be a heartbreaker. It really does.
Yeah.
Third place, Charles Hickman. Terry Hickman got third with 27.82. Fourth place, Ken Smith, good friend that's been on the show several times. Steve Evans got fourth with 27.43. And had a 10.56 big bass, which got second in big bass.
Yeah.
Don't even win big bass with a 10. And then also, let's go over Saturday's results.
And you think about that, the 10-pounder plus the 27-pound, that wins 95% of the tournaments over there.
Steve, going back, I'm sorry, I'll keep jumping back and forth here. But on Sunday, the last place check, Dwayne Reese, John Cox, had 20.54, won $800. There was 6 bags over 20 pounds that did not get a check.
Wow.
On Sunday. 6 bags that did not get a check on Sunday, over 20.
Wow.
If you rewind all the way back to Saturday, Joseph Norris, Bart Blakelock, good friend of mine, he's Toledo Bend Hammer, won over there, Bass Champs at Sam Rayburn, went 30.43 with a 10.39 big bass. Looking down, all the way down. Now on Saturday, it took 18.73 to get the last place check.
Right.
So
Oh, that's all Sam Rayburn. Now let's turn the page over to Toledo Bend, Despino Tire. Mark Mulick and David Curtis won this event. I wonder if that's the same David Curtis that I'm thinking.
I'm pretty sure it is.
They won first place with $26.49 for a $20,000 first place prize. By the way, that money was guaranteed by Randy Despino. And so congratulations to those guys. Terry Terrio and Timothy Terrio finished second with $25.77. Jason Morris and Billy Gaston finished third with $25.55. Chris Bro, Aaron Borges finished fourth. Bourgeois. Is that Bourgeois? Yeah. Bourgeois finished fourth with $25.53. And good friends of ours, Lee Hooker and Jeff Holder. Lee lives over here at Zawali, and Jeff, of course, being a Shreveport guy, they finished fifth with $25.29. I don't have the totals for this event, but just a great turnout, I'm sure.
Oh, it was. I don't either as well. I don't have the
we'll look at it. We'll have that
really,
for you
really
next
good
week.
turnout. Really, really good
Yeah,
turnout.
yeah.
It took, Toledo Bend, it's been down, but guys, it's coming back up. 50th place, they had to be in a lot of boats. They paid 50 places. 50th place was $16.95. They got the last $250 check.
Wow.
So it took right at 17 pounds to get a check.
Yeah.
There was a 10-pounder caught by our Natchitoches own Phil Ryder. Blake Carrier and Phil Ryder had 21/64, came in ninth. Phil had a 10-pounder. So there was a 10 caught. There was several. There was a 9 caught, and I think 4 or 5 8s caught.
I see some 8s, 809.
So Toledo's getting right. I mean,
Toledo, it's fishing well right now.
It's fine. It's getting right, no doubt about it. We're getting some more water back in the lake. So I know the north end is on fire. The south end's starting to happen. So good things to come for Toledo Bend in the next couple of weeks.
Also, real quick, we had an event, Lone Star, one of our newest sponsors, Lone Star Bass Trail results from Sam Rayburn. These guys, I guess, trying to compete with all the bass champs. It didn't leave much room for guys to find fish on their own for this particular event. Jay Ridgway and B. Kane, they had 5 fish for 1802 to win this event. And so congratulations to those guys. 17s, 14s. Like I said, these guys were probably just trying to stay out of a lot of people's way for this event. But anyway, I'm sure it was very crowded over there at Sam Rayburn with the Lone Star Bass Trail going on as well. So
the next Lone Star Bass Trail events will be May 2nd.
Yes. At
Sam Rayburn out of Castle Boykins.
And they have an MLF style event May the 31st, which I think is their championship. Yes. It's a different event.
Yeah.
It's a separate event. They have an MLF style event on May the 30th. We'll get more information on that. We'll let you know what's going on with that. And,
so the next Lone Star Bass Trail, the next event they have is May 2nd out of Castle Boykins.
Yes.
If anybody's interested in that.
And that's
event.
the final of the 4 other than the championship in May 23rd. So
correct.
And then they'll have a fall circuit as well.
Upcoming schedule for the lakes for the next couple of weekends. Of course, Bass Cash Bash is still going on. If you want to get registered, it just started up on Toledo Bend. Sam Rayburn's been going on. Guys, if you're going to be one of these lakes, which I've got to do, I haven't got registered yet.
You're not registered?
I haven't been on Toledo since it started.
Man,
so
you're going to be that guy?
You're right. So anyway, you get registered. If you have not yet, like myself, got to make sure to get registered for that event going on in several bodies of water across the state, across all the way to Alabama, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Make sure you get registered. BassCashBash.com. March 21st is the Sweet 6 Outlaw Outdoors Sweet 16 Championship for Outlaw Outdoors there. And then we will be at Sam Rayburn for this ABA Solo 150 the very next week, Steve?
Yes. Yep. 26th and 27th. We'll be over. I know we'll be over there probably around the 21st fishing for 2 or 3 days pre-fishing, but getting ready for that event. And then, also I want to say something. Lucky 13, which goes on out of Shreveport, Mike Eccles puts that on. They had a tournament on Bistineau this past weekend. I think there was 20-something teams had over 13 pounds. It was insane. The bite at Bistineau was absolutely on fire. And so congratulations to all those guys as well.
Going on down the upcoming schedule, March 27th, the Outlaw Team Series number 3 will be that Saturday on Sam Rayburn. And then back here at Toledo Bend, March 27th, the Poche tournament, the Dylan Poche Memorial Tournament they held every year right there at Cypress Bend at Toledo Bend.
It just gets bigger and bigger.
It does. Bert Poche and those guys do a great job. It's a great event to fish. They're guaranteeing first place money this year. So make sure if you want to be around and can fish Toledo Bend that weekend, get registered for that event.
Yes. Well, Kip, I think it's going to wrap us up.
I think that wraps us up for a very busy weekend.
I want to tell the story, just kind of like Lance's story a while ago. You know, bass fishing is a game of decisions. You know, when you make the right decisions to go here, to go there. Well, on Sunday, and he probably didn't need this fish, but it definitely solidified the final win for him. Well, John Cox was straight across from the boat ramp, was on his way in, turned right. Instead of turning left and going into the way, he turned right, went into a pocket, catches a 4-pounder on a third cast, puts it in the boat, seals the deal. And he just laughs all the way across the lake to the way, and he's like, what do you do? It's just when it's your turn, it's your turn.
But it's his turn a lot, Steve.
It is his turn a lot.
You can't say that. When it's your turn, it's your turn.
Yeah.
He makes those decisions, and to fish as freely as John Cox fishes, just in my opinion, by watching him fish by the seat of his pants, he's the one of the best to do it. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Shallow
He just
water?
makes those decisions.
Man, he is a shallow water guru.
And to be able to make the decision that he makes, I mean, one of the best on the planet, no doubt about it. Shout out to Justin Cooper with an 8th place top 10 finish.
Congratulations,
and his
Justin.
very second ever Pro Tour event tournament. Top 10, great job. Puts him like 35th in Angler of the Year points, Steve.
Yeah, he jumped way up there.
Looking forward to. I know he's looking forward
Rayburn
to
next, I think, don't they?
No. This is for the Pro Tour event.
That's just the Pro Tour?
It's Wheeler, South Carolina.
Pickwick. They go to Pickwick next?
Nope. That's Bassmaster Elites. It's like 3 or 4 weeks out because I want to say like not Wheeler.
Hartwell.
No, but it's in that region.
Okay.
Anyway, I apologize.
Lake Murray?
Murray, yes.
Murray.
I just
There you
talked to
go.
Justin
You said
about
region.
this.
I knew about that with that.
Yeah, Lake Murray, it's about 3 or 4 weeks out. I just talked to Justin, but he's super excited to get back on the water in that event, just kind of keep the momentum going for him. So shout out to him. Good luck, Daryl Gleason, this week in the Elite Series event over on Pickwick. Hopefully he can do well in that event. And I know a lot of things coming up this coming week for you guys, Toledo Bend, Sam Rayburn in our area here. Best of luck to all of our Tackle Talk viewers and wish you the best.
And again, keep spreading the word about the program. We really appreciate it. We need some help to get our numbers up, try to get those numbers up. We are averaging really good numbers on our YouTube, but we need those to keep getting higher and higher. So keep spreading the word. We really appreciate that. If you see me or Kevin somewhere at an event, please pull us aside, talk to us, let us know you're watching. We really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So for this week, that's going to wrap us up. Till next week, if you're going to catch more fish, you got to watch Tackle Talk Live. See you next week.